getting into that discussion. We're calling it BBI and the youth. It's a discussion that will take a long time, and it will be held in forums such as these, and that's why we invite your views as well. Did the BBI capture your aspirations? Were your recommendations taken as the youth? That's what we'd like to hear from you.
Today, we're here after the launch of the BBI report yesterday in Bomas of Kenya. And this session today, we've actually mobilized the youth across the country to have a discussion about the BBI report. Let me just briefly highlight the journey that we've come from. Since the BBI inception, what we did as National Youth Council, of course, with the support of our ministry and our CS, we convened young people from different youth-serving organizations and youth groups and the individual youth to have what we call a common youth position on BBI. We came up with elaborate propositions and proposals and that will harness our voice in the BBI report. This was communicated by our CS Joe Msheru to the BBI report, and it was acknowledged in the report. And today we've come back again after the report to see what are the gains that we've made as young people and what are some of the areas we feel that needs to be boosted up in terms of value addition, and what is it that we are losing, so that then we have a mechanism where we can say, can we improve on this to make sure that the youth inclusivity and representation is well harnessed across the country. So today, the media, the young people, this session is just about looking at the gains, looking at the areas where we need to improve on this to make sure that the youth of this country is well empowered, of course with the launch of the Kenya Youth Development Policy by His Excellency the President, to be a sustainably empowered young people.
My name is Lydia Mathia. I have been a youth advocate for many years, and we have worked together, like you heard, to harness young people's voices and share those with the BBI steering committee. And we are here to confirm that the steering committee listened to young people and they heard us. And the first thing they did is to acknowledge that the face of Kenya is not one that is just representing marginalized community or ethnic diversity. For the first time, there's an acknowledgement that we need what is called generational diversity. And that means in every governance space that we have, there is a call to include people of various ages, so that if you have persons with disability, there are those ones who are older, there are those ones who are younger. If you're talking about women, minorities, marginalized, all of them need to come in their generational diversity. And so for us, that's a big win, because it changes the philosophy of our governance and the face of Kenya. The second thing, of course, for us is the issue of peace. Young people have paid the price repeatedly whenever we have had skirmishes. And so when people later on come back to their senses and they recreate the elusive peace, we have already paid the price in terms of economic vulnerability. We have already paid the price, some of us, with our lives. And so as young people, we are saying we don't want intermittent peace. We want a predictable, durable, enduring peace, so that our future is more guaranteed. We are able to imagine, to create, to grow, to enterprise, to marry, to be joyful, without ever worrying that our peace will be interrupted because of elections. We, and I'm sure all of us have heard, young people's biggest concern is economic opportunities. And so in the BBI report, we are happy that the issue of economic productivity has been mentioned over 150 times in the report. So meaning that this conversation on BBI is also an issue about economic expansion, which will create more jobs for our young people. We want money in our pockets so that we are able to lead the lives that we aspire. And so essentially, under shared prosperity, the BBI report talks about the Constitution emphasizing the issue of productivity in agriculture, in industrialization, and in value addition, so that we are able to absorb as many young people into employment as possible. But even as we work on our economy, the BBI report gives incentives and protections for young people's vulnerability currently by exempting them from taxes for 7 years. That is a huge gain for young entrepreneurs. It is a huge gain for those ones who do tenders, because you will no longer be paying taxes, you'll no longer be paying VAT or income tax at the end of the year to KRA you are exempt for a period of 10 years. Of course, of 7 years. Of course, we know there will have to be legislation so that those gains are protected for young people. And we are aware that also the BBI report has talked about companies disclosing the beneficial owners. And I think it's a conversation that is already happening currently. So what that means is, it's not just a matter of these people, everybody registering a company and saying it's a youth company. There will be due diligence to confirm the beneficial owners of those companies so that those benefits are actually secured for the younger generation. The other benefit that we are very, very happy about is the issue of incentivizing political parties to deliver young people to the Senate, to county assemblies, and to parliament. Because the BBI report calls for amendment to the Political Parties and Elections Acts so that for you to access the political party fund, you have to demonstrate that how many young people you have delivered. So 15% of that fund will be accessed on the basis of the number of young people a party has taken to parliament. 50% will be allocated on the basis of how many women that party has taken to parliament. So we know political parties will be scrambling so that they make sure that we are part of their candidates, we are part of the people that get positions under their parties, so that they are able to access the political parties fund. We are also extremely grateful about the BBI talking about moral issues. We know as a country, we have been struggling with the issue of values. We are having a huge problem on corruption, accountability, and integrity. And of course, the young generation has been accused of propagating some of these ills. In the BBI report, there is a call to have young people as early as primary school and secondary school taking time out of their academic life to go and serve in communities so that they can learn community development, they can learn service to others, they can learn empathy, utu, I believe that is what it's being called, so that we have a country where people care about each other. And we are also happy that there's a call to reinstall or re-establish or bring back the loyalty pledge, so that when somebody starts from primary school all the way to high school saying, I pledge my allegiance to the Republic of Kenya, then there is that heartfelt patriotism that we'll be able to inculcate amongst subsequent generations and build a Kenya where all of us feel included and can participate. So we are very, very happy. We believe that the issues that are not yet, completely perfected will be perfected. So even as they will be raised just now by Bubi, we remain optimistic that there is room for engagement and there is room to perfect that which is not perfect. I thank you for your attention.
I'll speak from a political aspect because I aspire to be an aspirant and I aspire to actually scoop one of these seats. And one of the things that the young people have really emphasized is the qualification for a presidential candidate is still that a candidate should be 35 years and above, and that should be something that the BBI should address. Let the young people be given a platform where they can go for the top seat. Another issue is executive positions to actually include the young people. These executive positions that the BBI is addressing, so that the young people don't feel excluded from this conversation. We had one of the young people say they are not actually involved and they don't even want to converse about these executive positions because they don't involve them. So to include the young people, let us have a conversation about how do we ensure that young people are actually included in these 5 executive positions. My last point is the political parties should have incentives for young people such that the party nomination fees are actually youth-friendly to allow young people to actually come up and go for these seats. Thank you.
So as the All Africa Students Union, we bring together national students across Africa. So I've been a youth champion ever since my student years at the University of Nairobi. And I want to say that this is a momentous day for the youth in Kenya. And this goes a long way to say a lot to the African continent on what the young people can do for Africa. So one thing I want to do today is to celebrate the National Youth Council for articulating our issues when it was important, when it was necessary, so that we need to come out of the menu and get onto the decision-making table. So the one thing I want to say is that young people in this country are aspiring to leave this country for greener pastures. But let me tell you one thing, with my experience, this is where the greener pastures are. And the BBI report is the water that will make our grass greener. Vijana power. This is a time, young people, we should not sit back and let ourselves be dictated. This is a time where we need to create those spaces that we want. The BBI report says that we have a youth commission. That is brilliant. And then it goes again to say 6 out of the 6, 4 will be youth. Do you remember the National Employment Authority that was given to someone who was not of equal to task? It was later revoked. But this one gives us the opportunity to have that same repeated if all members of that youth commission are not young people. So that goes along to say that I am also excited about the MCA's funding. A lot of the leaders in the grassroots are youth. MCAs are youth. And 5% funding going to the counties is extremely important. It is essential. Now, becoming an MCA and becoming an MP is exciting. It is not to be looked down on. The MCA position has now become extremely lucrative. And this is one thing young people we need to embrace. We need to increase our capacity in order to ensure that these spaces are taken. Let us not leave this country to the dogs. You see, when good people keep quiet, bad things happen. And when one thing I like to say that when people who are neutral during during a moral crisis have a special place in hell. This is a time where we need to talk. This is a time where we need to take sides. This is a time when we need to take sides. We saw it during independence. People resisted the colonial rule. There are those who collaborated. They all had a role to play. This is our time to take our place in this country. Let us stand for this country. Asanteni sana, young people. One last thing, I want to ask you to embrace peaceful political processes. This is a political time for young people. But one thing we must not forget, that when I sit at another high table, when another opponent of mine sits at another high table, we are always there for each other. One is an MCA of different political parties, different ideologies, and even as we articulate our issues on social media, let us be careful about what we say, because this country comes first. Hii nchi ni yetu sisi sote. Sawa sawa. Asanteni sana.
We want first to acknowledge the presence of the NYC for bringing us together, but we also want to extend our appreciation to His Excellency the President and the Right Honorable Raila Odinga for giving us a platform where we can be able to articulate our issues. The issues of youth, they are always, in many times, we have not been given defined space where we can be able to engage our issues. But we appreciate the task force committees that has been put together to address these particular issues. And as you have heard from each and every speaker, that we have been given an opportunity. My call to each and every young person in the Republic of Kenya is to take time to be able to read this particular document. As we read this particular document, let us actually look things which brings us together. I know all of us, we are from our political parties. We will be making positions as political parties, but we'll appreciate if we can be able to seize this particular moment, which we have been given these particular opportunities, where we can be able to start having a conversation on how we can be able to protect the gains that have been addressed in our BBI process. And we urge each and every person, as we move forward, and as His Excellency the President did mention yesterday, this will go as a package to the referendum, if we have to go there. And we want to call each and every young person, whether you are in Garibatula or you are in Molo or you are in West Pokot, we want you to be able to support this particular process. We're looking forward to engaging with you in Uko Mashinani. Asanteni sana.
My role today is to report on the various issues that have been raised in this dialogue we have had today. We have had various points of views expressed. We have had various concerns and various congratulatory messages as well on the BBI. Now, what we were told yesterday when it was launched is that there is room for dialogue. So as the youth of this country, I'd like to highlight 4 major areas we feel that we need to dialogue and we need to be provided for more so that we can feel included and part of this country in general. Number 1 is on the prompt payment bill proposal. Now, we welcome it, we love it, we laud it, and we look forward to receiving our payments within the 30 or 60 days that have been proposed. However, The non-payment has been made an offense, but nothing in the proposal talks about a sanction being charged against these government bodies that fail to make these payments. Yes, we are told that non-payment is going to creates an offense, but what happens to you if you don't pay? Is there a sanction? Doesn't the youth serving the youth business enterprise continue to incur interest where they have borrowed their money to supply you? So we request that the issue of the sanction is looked into, so as to ensure that these public entities that acquire this business from the youth are able to be incentivized to pay. Secondly, they've spoken about an internal appeal system from this public entity. Whereas we laud it, the question is, if this public entity has declined to pay my invoice, will it really be impartial when it's time for me to place my appeal to them? I think we should go straight to the Public Invoices Settlement Tribunal, which will ensure that this dispute is determined faster. And just like election petitions, we feel that there must be a time limit within which these invoice disputes must be settled, so that the youth enterprises get their monies faster. Secondly is on the 7-year tax break. It's great. It's absolutely fantastic. But we must secure and ensure that the beneficial owner of this enterprise that is getting the tax break is a youth, a young person of this country falling within the age bracket set out in section Article 55 of our Constitution. So that proposed legislation must be aligned with the company's beneficial ownership information regulations that have just been put in force, and we are required to comply with them within 30 days. So let us have a specific provision in that act ensuring that the beneficial owner is a young person and not an established business cartel trying to benefit from the tax break. Thirdly, is the Youth Commission. We laud it, we love it. Thank you very much. And thank you for embedding it in the Constitution. But let the persons appointed be youth, be young people of this country, be people falling within the age bracket, and persons who are able to push for legislation and lobby for great policies. And finally, my colleague Lydia has spoken about the amendments to the election laws, and we thank you, the BBI Steering Committee, for listening to our proposals. But the BBI has given with one hand and taken with another hand. We had 4 assured nomination positions, 2 in Senate and 2 in the National Assembly. At the very minimum, those should remain. And we hope that that can be listened to and implemented. And even as we have that conversation, the proposal on the additional seats, whether it is 63, 70, 80, our proposal and our request as the young members of this country is that as that conversation is being had, look at it to ensure that youth are part of those 70 seats. So our basic arithmetical proposal is, in every 5, let the 5th person be a young member, be a youth, a young person of this country. So 1, 2, 3, 4 can come from whichever demographic. But the 5th person, whether they come from Samburu, from Nairobi, whether they're a person with disability, whether they're a woman, let that person be a young person falling within the definition of Article 55 of our Constitution. Thank you very much.
Hello, young people. That's why we've had this dialogue today. And as a ministry and as National Youth Council, of course, with the support of the ministry, we have envisioned to actually call upon the like-minded partners on board, because we don't want to finish this discussion here. We want to actually push the discussion across the country in engaging young people meaningfully, so that their voices are heard and their voices are actually incorporated in this BBI. As all these members have said, we have a window to actually come up with a legacy for the young generation that will come after us. They will remember us for fighting for the Youth Commission. They will remember us for fighting for tax holidays. They will remember us for pushing for young people inclusivity. So I want to just to reiterate to my fellow young people that there is a window for us. It doesn't matter where it is coming from, which political side it's coming from, but as National Youth Council, we are looking at it. What is in it for the young people of this country? And if we see there is a gain for the young people of this country, then we need to have that discussion. Then we need to elevate that discussion so that each young people is at the center of this, on this change that is happening. Then finally, I think just to look at it, we're looking at it in both policy framework and also both looking at the legislative framework. So for those that require legislative, that is, that they require bills, then we want to challenge our young members of parliament that now this is the time for you to take up the challenge, move with it. We want to see as young people those bills as soon as possible, so that now, because the process is already in motion, can we have those bills being done already, so that then we don't have a long window for us to achieve these gains. And then for those, of course, which deals with policy, our ministry, the Ministry of Public Service, and our CS, they have what we call a CS caucus, and I'm sure with the CS direction, we're going to start immediately in terms of policy framework that needs to be put in place to support these amendments that have been proposed. And of course, as National Youth Council, we are happy, we are proud. We applaud the gains of the young people. We've seen that there's areas that needs to be improved, and we're going to work together as stakeholders in the youth space, that we make sure that those gains are incorporated in the final document, so that the youth of this country has the greatest take in this BBI report. So as National Youth Council, as the Ministry of ICT, Innovation and Youth, we will, and the Ministry of Public Service, and of course, with all other stakeholders, the youth serving organization, we want to say we'll work together to make sure that the gains made by the young people, we will make sure that where we feel that there is a gap, we're going to add more. And that's why we're going to have these VCAOs. And for the partners out there, because as National Youth Council, we thrive in partnership. Come, let's work together so that the youth are incorporated and the youth are included in this process. Asanteni sana, and may God bless you. Asante.